So what we're working on today is my last video. We made this drawer in the front here, and you can see how that comes out. And while we were making this drawer, we went ahead and added this board here and the side wall and then the back wall. We made a compartment in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut a hole in the front. We've decided, me and my wife have decided, we're going to go ahead and paint this white here, and then we're going to paint a tan color on these. Just going to do this section here just to kind of lighten it up a little bit, and it's all banged up a little bit on this drawer, so we're going to redo that. So what we're going to do on this video is I'm just going to make this hole and make a door. First off, I'm going to cut the hole, and then we're going to end up adding, I've got a wire mesh that we use in a closet, and I've got hangers for that, so we're going to put a wire mesh up about halfway up and make it where we put shoes in the bottom and other stuff up in the top shelf. So that's what this video is going to be about, so have to check it out as we go along. Okay, what I'm doing now is laying out the edges of the door, and you can see I've drawn it out. What I basically want to do is there's a thickness of board right in there here. I want that to be right at the bottom of that, so the top of the drawers, or top of this door is going to be right there. The side, I just want to have enough room for my drawer that's here, and another overlap that I'm going to have here for the actual door that's going to come close. So it's going to open up over here, hinges over on this side. So I'm going to have to put some boards in behind here to beef up those hinges a little bit. And it's like at the bottom again, it's about an inch up, and that's where that board is that holds this panel in place. So you want to go just above that board. So now I'll take my jigsaw. I'll take a drill first and do a pilot hole, and then take my jigsaw and cut this out. I've got my jigsaw where I've got tape on the bottom to keep from scuffing this up too much. I'm not too worried about that because I'm going to paint all this back area white, and my drawers are actually going to be painted. Some people might say, why would you do that? But we've decided that we want to lighten this area up a little bit. We're going to leave the wood for now on the regular cabinets, this dark color. But we're going to lighten this area up and keep it more of a durable paint, because this area gets banged around a lot with your feet, shoes, and things like that. So, alright, we'll have to see what this looks like when I get it cut out. Okay, now you can see where I cut out that piece. There's the piece here that I cut out. Let's say I wanted to get as close up to this board here that I could. I couldn't quite get all the way down because my jigsaw wouldn't quite clear it. So there's a little bit of an edge there, which is fine. Up here on the top, I've got a pretty flush. And that's kind of important because I've got to make this, you see over on this side, we've got a little latch. I'm going to have to put a latch like that over here on this side, and that's going to keep that door closed. It'll snap on that latch, so it has to have something to attach that latch to right here. So that's kind of important to do that. So now that I have that all done, like I say, I'm going to come in here now and do a little painting in here but then so next time you see this, you'll see this all painted white. And I'm going to take my drawers and my doors and paint them a different color. So the next thing I'll be doing is actually you'll see me doing is I'm going to be building this actual door that goes on here. I've got the hardware from the old drawer that was here, and I bought a new knob, which I tried to match up as best I could, but it couldn't get matched up as perfect as I wanted to. And I'll do that, and I have basically I'm going to use a piece of plywood for this. I'm going to try to take the edges of the door and kind of round them over a little bit. And for right now, I'm just going to sand this edge out and clean it up a little bit. So next time you'll see me, we should be in my shop working on that door. Okay, I have laid out the front of the door. This material is not quite as thick as the material that was on the actual doors in the camper. I may have to put a little support in the middle. So right now I just get this roughed out. So basically I'm going to cut this 13.5 inches, and then I basically roughed in these two edges here, so I'll have to get them squared up. Okay, got my door all squared up, and this is my router table. I had to clean it up, and I haven't used it in a couple of years, so I had to clean it up and get it going. Like I say, this has a router built into it. My dad built this a few years back, quite a few years back actually, but it actually does a pretty good job. You can buy these tables, but this one here is one he built up. And like I say, there's a head inside of here that makes the bevel. So that's going to give us our bevel. It's not going to be the exact same bevel that we have. I'll show you what the old ones, or the ones on the other doors, are kind of like this. A little more fancy. All this is going to do is just do a wraparound. Just kind of smooth that area up. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, just to beef up the strength of my door, it's not quite as thick as the other doors, and it doesn't seem like to be made out of a good material, so it has a little bowl in it. So I'm going to put this on the back side. It won't be seen, but unless you open the door, and it may even give me a place to attach some things. So I'm going to put that little piece on there just to give it some support, because like I say, most plywood, this thin will bow a little bit, so I don't want that bow to happen, so that'll prevent that from happening. Okay, I'm laying out some of my hardware now. Got it all sanded up, laying out some hardware. Looking at the other door, I did make this one a little bit smaller. This one here is 14.5 inches. This one was 14 inches from top to bottom. Probably should have made it the same, but I don't think anybody's going to notice a ½ inch difference from side to side. But what they did here is they measured 1.5 inches from the edge on each one, so I've done that. Also, you got about the same height. This is the door pull on the front, so I've marked that. So I'll drill that hole. I'll go ahead and put these and I'll put these screws in just to get them started, and then pull them back out so I can paint it. And we're getting close to done on this door front. Now, as a side project, I am going to paint the front of these drawers. Just decided that these don't take a beating. You can see the front of that door is already taking a beating, so I'm going to go ahead and paint them. And I did a very light sanding on it, and I'm going to TSP them, and I'm hoping this doesn't have any issues. I know there's been trouble in the past with what they call fisheye. It actually, the paint goes down and it just kind of spreads out, doesn't want to stick. So I'm hoping this prevents that problem. I have a satin finish, kind of a tan color that these are going to be painted. Then I'm going to use contact paper for the back part, where the actual cabinet side, and I hope that'll work out pretty good. I tried paint and it didn't work as good, so we'll see how this works. Like I say, this is a side project. I'm not going to give you too much video on this. Just, you'll notice as we progress with this door front, you'll see that I'll be painting this stuff as I go. So here's what it looks like with the contact wallpaper. Kind of makes it, give it a paneling look. lighter. Like I say, my big concern is how well this stuff's going to stick in the heat out here. Is it going to peel off? And if it does, we'll just have to pull everything back off again and paint it, I guess. But we're hoping this will hold up over a long time. We're not sure. I originally thought we might redo the cabinets over here with it, but it doesn't stick really well. Maybe if there's a contact cement used or something like that, it might be a little better. We'll just have to see how this holds up. We still got quite a row here. So if this doesn't work out the first time, we may try taking it off, spraying it with contact cement, and then trying it that way. But we'll just give it a try like this. Hopefully it works. So we've got our front of our door done. We've got it. It's dried now. Go ahead and put the hardware on it. So now we're going to take it up and install it on the front of that one compartment that I made. Okay, little by little we're getting her done. Went ahead and put the door on. Got the hardware in. It's a little tight in this corner, but it swings okay. It's open here. Closed. Now we're going to have to I bought one of these catches that snap in. We'll put that in. That way this door won't fly open when we're going down the road. So I've got one of those to add in. Then I got to work on some shelving on the inside. I'm going to use some kind of wire shelving. And then this project will just about be done. Looking pretty good. Okay, I think we finally got our project done. Like I say, we're still putting these drawers in there, still letting them dry. The drawer for here, and then the door for here, I'm letting it dry because it's going to be the same beige color there. But anyway, this is what we got. I went ahead and, like I said, that bed will go on top of here. But we've basically added this new door. Comes out, and then inside have this nice shelf in here. And like I say, we made this compartment earlier in another video that I did. What's nice about this will actually lift up. You need to really get in there. So this is out of a closet organizer basically, and these brackets. Doing pretty good. I'm not crazy about the way these go through. These are anchors. I may have to, it might hit my drawer. I might have to do some adjustment here. Maybe just put it in as a screw attachment. Same thing in the back. So we'll have to see how that works. If it doesn't, then I'll just take that out and I'll put some kind of bolt in there that hold those four corners. One there, and then these over here. But pretty happy with the whole design. And like I say, I'm getting more and more storage as I go. I've got several more projects coming up. One is I finally did get my cargo bin door. So basically I've got a video where I put one on the other side, but I'm going to be putting one over here on this side. That way I can put my 8x8 awning in here, in this long part. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And got a couple other projects. I want to add this shelf. That'll be another project coming up. But if you have any more comments about this particular product, or this project that I did, leave your comments in the comments section.